This video is a brief introduction into sharps and flats and the circle of fifths. All you have to do at this level is to remember 4 sharps and 4 flats. So here you have a cat, a rabbit, and a dog. And these are all different kinds of pets. So underneath you have a sharp, a natural, and a flat. And these are all different kinds of accidentals. We're going to deal with sharps and we're going to deal with flats. How to remember all the sharps. Fat cats go dancing and elephants go boogie. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Fat cats go dancing. How to remember all the flats. Boring Ed always drove good clean Fords. B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. If a piece of music has 1 flat, it will always be B flat. If a piece of music has 2 flats, it will be B flat and E flat. If it has 3 flats, it will have B flat, E flat, and A flat. If it has 4 flats, it will be B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Moving down to the circle of fifths. Do not worry about what's down here at the bottom. All you're concerned with is the stave. No sharps and no flats is C major. When you move over here, you have 1 sharp, you have 2 sharps, 3 sharps, and 4 sharps. Moving to the left, you have 1 flat, 2 flats, 3 flats, and 4 flats. To remember the order, fat cats go, fat cats go dancing. Over here, boring Ed always, boring Ed always drove. Now that you know the order of sharps and flats, you need to figure out the key. So for sharps, think 1 letter ahead of the last sharp. In this case, F sharp. 1 letter ahead from F is G. Therefore the key is G major. Think ahead from the last sharp. F sharp and C sharp. C sharp is the last sharp. If I think a letter ahead from C, A, B, C, D, I get the key of D major, and so on. When it comes to flats, you usually think about the second last flat. That will give you the key. So for here, boring Ed always drove. The second last flat is A. Therefore the key is A flat. Boring Ed always. The second last flat is E flat. Boring Ed. The second last flat is B flat. Therefore the key is B flat. When it comes to 1 flat on its own, I'm sorry, but you just have to remember that 1 flat is F major. The reason it is called a circle of fifths is that there are 5 letters from C to G. C, D, E, F, G. G, A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and so on. So it works the same on both sides of the circle. Therefore, it's a circle of fifths. A common error when you're counting up 5 from C is that some people don't count the C as the first letter. C is number 1. C, D, E, F, G is number 5. The error is that people think that the D is number 1. So when they count 5 up from C, They go D, E, F, G, and A. But that's incorrect because they used the D as number 1. The green notes marked in here are all a fifth away from each other as well, and these refer to the minor keys, which is a separate topic for another video. Moving down to Fiddle Time Scales 1. In the opening of the book, you have a scale and arpeggio chart. At home, your job will be just to randomly pick a key and say how many sharps or flats it has. Play the scale and the arpeggio from memory. Then you can go and pick something else, like G major, say how many sharps and flats it may or may not have, and play the scale. The first scale in the book will be our scale of D major. So you play the scale, say how many sharps there are, say what key the piece is in, and you can identify where the semitones are. In the arpeggio, you have to know how an arpeggio is put together. In other words, a root, a third, and a fifth. The D is repeated, so that's your octave. And that concludes the brief introduction to sharps, flats, and the circle of fifths.